Welcome to the Windy City Benders podcast, presented by Beer League Talk with your hosts, Nolly, Poetzy, Jarom, and Tanner.
Are you playing the song?
Are
No,
you,
legitimately.
you're like laughing, but like, are you?
Yes, legitimately, we cannot hear the song.
I've been playing it. It's been
Oh, really?
Will you not hear anything?
That's
We
the
legitimately
third time.
cannot hear
That
it.
is the third time I played
Is it just in your
I've not
headphones?
heard it once.
Maybe.
It's
Yeah,
just in
I've
your
not heard
headphones.
it.
100% just in your headphones, you idiot. So stop yelling at us. You suck. Okay, welcome.
No,
to
the song's still
episode-
playing. Wait, you gotta wait.
To episode 74 of the Windy City Bender podcast, presented to you by Beer League Hockey. Or Beer League Talk. Sorry,
There you go.
I don't know. Whatever.
You got it.
Early in the morning. Got a really good one for you today. Gonna do our prediction episodes starting now, right now, and then we've also got a really cool interview with you guys for later on in the show. We've got Lindsey Willhite, who is the Director of Public Relations for the Chicago Wolves. He's been hooking us up for a whole while now. He comes
Might be
in
hooking
and
you
he's,
guys up too soon.
damn straight, friends and family. So be nice to us.
Be my family.
Be my family.
Be my friend.
Be my friend. What am I gonna do without a family or a friend?
Yes.
So full squad today for the first time in a while. Happy to be back. You guys did a nice job last time. We got Nolly. How are you?
Hey, how are you?
Hey, how are you?
How
Tanner?
are you?
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing? And Jarom.
All right, can you guys hear me now? Or
Yeah, we couldn't hear the
we always
song.
heard you.
Okay.
You just had the song was playing in your headphones only.
Hey, Jarom, you remember your office when we used to all record at your
What, go-
house?
go in my room?
Go
Yep.
sit in your room.
Go
Yeah.
sit in your room. Go sit in your room for a little while. Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Let's get what happened.
Sorry, an ad started playing. It
Oh.
was really loud.
I didn't hear anything.
Yeah,
Once
no, it's
again.
just my headphones.
Oh, okay, good.
Because I can figure that out,
Good.
Jaron.
Headphones are a thing. Yeah.
We all wear 'em.
Yeah. All right, let's get started then. Go right into the specific division.
It's Pacific.
No, it's
specific?
the specific because it's the specific ocean.
Pacific Division, starting
not
in
doing-
alphabetical order.
Are we not doing Hawks talk?
Anaheim.
No.
Hawks are
No.
doing great.
Hawks!
Talk over.
That was Hawks talk.
Yeah, they had.
It's done.
They did
We're gonna
preseason.
save the Hawks talk for the Central.
That works. All right.
Mhm.
Anaheim is going to kick off the prediction list. Anaheim basically has done nothing. They lost Corey Perry. Really, they signed Andreas Martinson and Delzato, and they got Stolars, who played in Philly last year. Other than that, like, I
They
honestly don't know anything else they did.
they're also technically losing Kessler and Eves for the season too
Mm-hmm.
for injury.
Because they failed their physical.
No, well, they're both injured.
So Anaheim has Getzlaff and John Gibson.
Well, I'm
and-
looking at like their
defense.
projected line combinations, and Getzlaff's projected to be third line center.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because they got
Tough.
right now they got, which I mean their top line actually doesn't look too bad. They got Ricard Raquel, Jakob Silverberg, and then in the middle they got that Sam Steele, who is supposed to be a pretty high prospect. Like they're pretty high on him out there.
He had a decent season last year, I believe.
Yeah, so I mean, hopefully it doesn't go into, well, it doesn't matter to us, but he doesn't go into a sophomore slump. So I mean on that kind of line, I feel like he could do pretty well. And then they got Adam Henrique, which I always forget, which he probably has one of the best goals after being traded. Just
Yes.
taking it over he got traded for and just having a sick goal.
Sammy Vatanen, right?
Yeah, it was Vatanen.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean their center depth actually isn't bad with Steele, Henrique, Getzlaff down the middle, and then Devin Shore on fourth line, which whatever. But yeah, I mean their third line's looking like Troy Terry, Getzlaff, and Nick Ritchie, which not a bad third line. I feel like Troy Terry hasn't panned out as much as they've hoped.
Still
he would,
young.
but he's still young.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But yeah, and Nick Ritchie can go fuck himself still. I hate that guy. But yeah, their defense has always been like one of the things that they've been known for. Like they still got Hampus Lindholm, Josh Mason, and Cam Fowler, but it's
Other
not
than
what
that,
it,
it's
not what it was like 2
No.
years ago.
Right. I mean,
when they had before Vegas came and they had Shea Theodore, and then they had Sammy Botnan as well, and then they just gave Brandon Montour to Buffalo Sabres. So it's like it's a little bit different, but like the three main guys like still killing it. Cam Fowler is just a beast.
yeah. And Eddie Delzato, I feel like is pretty good, but he didn't play at all last year with the Blues, right? Like he was mostly a healthy scratch.
Yeah, Delzato.
A healthy scratch and or an actual scratch, like he was actually hurt.
Yeah. So I mean, it'll be interesting to see him actually get minutes out there, especially with their D not being as strong as it once was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And then you always got Gibson in net.
Yeah,
and
I was gonna say
he's so
that's
good.
the strong point for them. I think for right now is their goaltending is he could probably steal them a good handful of games.
Yeah.
But also on the opposite end, he also does get hurt every now and again too. So just because of the style of play that he has.
To be fair, I mean Ryan Miller's actually been a solid backup /
He did very well.
covering up Gibson
Right.
anytime he does get hurt. And then if you throw in Stolarz as a backup, if Gibson does get hurt behind Miller, I feel like that's still not a bad tandem.
Or even
No,
if
it's
Miller
not.
gets hurt and you have just Stolarz back there too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely.
Gibson was one of the, like, I'm pretty sure he was like one of the biggest workhorses last year too.
Absolutely.
And like with that team in front of him, it's like he is doing a lot of work.
Yeah,
And
that's like 30 to 35 shots on net, which doesn't necessarily seem like a lot, but a lot of those are prime scoring opportunities, like breakaways in the slot type of thing.
So looking at that, it's kind of funny. Do you feel like it's kind of like weird to say, but like Ryan Miller, when he first started, he was in Buffalo. He was facing shots like crazy when he was in Buffalo. And then he like finally left and he wasn't seeing as much shots and his game just kind
And
of
he wasn't as good. Mhm.
Yeah, I feel like I wonder if same thing kind of what happened to Gibson if one day something happened where they weren't facing as much shots or he gets moved and his game kind of changes after that.
I don't know. I've always thought he was pretty solid.
I mean, yeah, everybody thought Ryan Miller was pretty solid too.
No, it's accurate. That's accurate.
I don't know. I was just kind
He's
of
pretty good. He's pretty
connecting
good.
the dots,
Yeah.
especially with Ryan Miller backing up
Yeah.
too. Like I thought it was kind of funny.
Yeah. And last year, I'm blanking on the name. But the GM had come in and finished out the year coaching.
Oh, that's right.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Is it Bob Murray?
Yes, Bob Murray. Thank you. I kept on
Jarom.
wanting to say Bob
Killing
Gainey, and I was like, it's not Bob Gainey.
Bob Gainey.
Yeah. What am I doing?
Also, can you guys guess who the leading point getter was last year and how many points they had?
Oh, no.
no.
Just take a guess. Getzlaff, how many do you have?
46.
48.
Oh!
Yeah, so
I am so good at this game.
yeah, 48, and then Raquel and Silverberg both had 43.
How is that like?
So that's tough.
That's
Yeah.
bad. Not having anybody break 50.
Man,
That's
and
terrible.
You could say
season
it's
where
only
like
up from here.
everyone was scoring. Like everybody was scoring last
Scoring
year.
was up
Like,
big time, yeah. And
Man,
I mean, he only played in
Jesus.
67 games last year, so I mean, he missed a couple games.
Yikes.
Yeah. So
Crazy.
obviously, looking at that, how are you guys feeling about Anaheim and their season and their playoff chances this year?
I think it's
Not-
gonna be
not
a
great,
long
Brian.
year.
It's hard.
Not great,
It's hard to. It's hard to ask that question without like smiling and laughing.
Well,
Yeah,
and
right, yeah.
the West, or the Pacific, I should say, is getting better and better. You know, every year. I mean, you're always going to have San Jose being one of the top teams. Maybe not so much this year. We'll get into that in a second. But
Yeah.
Vegas is always a powerhouse.
Anaheim or not
Vegas
Anaheim,
is-
Arizona,
Vegas has had 2 seasons.
and they've
Yes,
been a
but they've
powerhouse.
Always a powerhouse.
Literally
Edmonton's
since their
always at the
beginning.
bottom.
Since their
Mhm.
beginning, they've been a powerhouse. So
Well,
always works.
Here's what I'm thinking is the division's actually kind of flipping from what it was like 4 or 5 years ago.
Mhm.
Like Calgary's at the top, San Jose is going down, Arizona's going up, Vancouver's back on the way up, Anaheim's on the way down, Edmonton's always just chilling at the bottom. and Los Angeles is now on the bottom too, but they were at the top like 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So the division's flipping a little bit.
Which it's kind of the way it's supposed to be.
Yes.
I guess if you look at it as in
Exactly.
your older guys are getting out, you need to start bringing in prospects while the other teams were retooling their systems and bringing in those prospects and training them. So, I mean, the way it should go is this way, but apparently to like Washington and Pittsburgh and all those guys, they don't follow the rules.
Yeah, that's not fair.
Yeah, we'll get back to that later. I mean, the Hawks
Don't
are following the
follow
rules,
rules.
but whatever.
Yeah.
We don't want to follow the rules. It's not our fault.
Yeah, we just do. Okay.
Stupid salary cap.
Where are we thinking that they're going to land here, though? Definitely towards the bottom. Are we thinking that they're scraping the bottom of the barrel here?
Yeah.
Out of the
I think they
playoffs.
might.
Out of the playoffs
For sure.
Lock of the year, Anaheim not making playoffs.
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
I gotta say.
We'll see about that.
Yeah, I
Bold,
gotta say
man.
bottom.
That is bold.
It's got to be either them or Ottawa. So.
Well, here's a different question. Is there going to be anybody on that team that breaks 50 points this year?
I would hope so.
I think they would too, but I don't know.
I mean, just for the sake of the fans out there, like
possibly Troy Terry if he gets a full year, kind of like.
I would say Raquel.
Raquel has the best chance with Silfverberg. I mean, they're on the first line, so
yeah,
you
top
would
line
hope.
Minutes.
Jeez, maybe Hampus Lindholm. We'll see. just go really weird with it.
Yeah,
yeah.
John Gibbs at 50
Michael
points.
Delzato comes in, just tears it up.
I don't know. Like, how does that happen? How does this happen?
How did you do this?
Like, no one has
How
ever.
are you guys?
How many? Oh my God! If you scroll on like at least everybody that played a game for them, they have 45 players.
Jesus.
Played at least one game for Anaheim last year.
That's terrible.
Jesus Christ.
I'm going to say 7th in the division.
Yeah.
7 out of 8. Going 7th.
Yeah. I can see that. 7. I don't know. They're in their bottom 6, 7, 8 spot.
Yeah.
Like they were.
I was going to say, I could say 6 or 7. I don't think they'll go 8. 6 or 7 because John Gibson will steal them.
Yeah.
Quite a few hockey games.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So.
All right. What about you, Jarom? What are you thinking?
I'm bottom 3.
Yeah.
Bottom 3.
Well, I guess we're just guessing in 3 areas instead of making predictions.
15.
Whatever. 15. That bad, huh?
Yeah. They come in last in someone else's division. That's what it is.
All right, let's move on.
Yep.
Arizona.
Let's go.
I don't know if you heard of any of the moves they made, but made a little splash. A little splash. Ever heard of Phil Kessel?
Who?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
There's no water in Arizona. Where are they splashing?
I don't know.
It is a desert, so he's got a point.
Sand splash.
Sand splash.
Yeah. They only lost like Dick Panic and like Calvin Picard.
It still kills me when people call him Dick Panic. That's phenomenal. It just makes me think of a penis that's just like having a panic attack. Just what the hell is that?
Let's see. Their UFAs that signed elsewhere were like Josh Archibald and Nick Cousins. I mean, nothing too crazy. They re-signed Boston Krause and Aiden Hill.
Sorry, this is the last year of Mike Ribeiro getting paid by them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's hilarious that he's still getting paid. Do you think they know where to send the checks, though?
I was going to say, did anybody find him?
Let's go check by Joe Murphy, see if they're all hanging out together.
Jeez.
Well,
oh, come on. That was kind of funny.
Yeah, kind of.
You guys suck.
So how about them lines, Nolly?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I got their projected lines, and dude, their defense. Their defense looks good.
Yeah.
They got Ekman Larson, Jason Demers, Jacob Chiptrin, and I know. And Nick Jarmelson. I think Goligoski and Osterley on the back end. Like, that's That's solid.
That's
Like,
a healthy
solid,
6.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as the keyword healthy,
Healthy,
they
yeah.
stay healthy. Because I think they were second in most
Second,
man games lost last year.
Yeah,
which
they're
is,
probably right behind Anaheim.
yeah. So honestly, the biggest signing for them this year, or biggest addition, is just all their guys being healthy. Because
True.
with all those guys hurt, like, they're screwed. But I mean, their top line: Derek Stepan, Christian Dvorak, and Phil Kessel. And then
Oh my God.
your second line. This is a tiny line, but it's speedy. Clayton Keller, Nick Schmaltz, and Vinny Hinostroza. Hey, Chicago, what's
Oh
happening?
God.
Like, that's some speed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some fire footing.
I mean, Connor Garland on the third line, he had a really good showing last year. Like, he wasn't supposed to do anything, and with all the injuries, he made himself a case to get paid and make the lineup. And then you got Grabner on the fourth line. Talk about speed. And
Yeah.
I think
Oh my God.
they had the most shorthanded goals last year too. I think.
Yeah. Grabner
Which
had
was
like
nuts.
90% of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Because he's so fucking fast. But yeah, so I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see what they do if they could stay healthy, especially adding a guy like Phil Kessel, who can be that big time goal scorer that they really need, because they get a lot of depth scoring, but they don't have that genuine, guy that can just put the puck in whenever you need him to.
I'm also kind of curious to see what kind of player he's going to be this year. Now that he's like in a small market, he gets to just play hockey. He doesn't have that media presence that it's very obvious, or it's well known fact that he hates too.
It'd be hilarious if, like, he hates all that and then he like goes there and it's just terrible. Like, I miss the media. Where are all the media? Why don't people care? No, I think it's gonna be good for him, especially with I'm blanking the coach.
Shit.
Why can't I think of the name?
Rick Tocchet.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
On it. You were on it, Jarom.
That's why we keep you around. Yeah, no, especially with him around, because it sounded like in Philly he was like the voice of reason for any dispute between Malkin and Kessel, and like
Pittsburgh.
he really kept. Yeah, what did I say?
Philly.
That's weird.
Really
I
weird.
don't know why I said that, but yeah, no, like he kept Kessel calm to the most part, and like kept that feud as minimal as possible. So I think that's going to be good for him.
The other thing too, anybody who thinks that Antti Raanta needs to earn his spot back from Darcy Kemper is high as a kite.
Yeah.
He is your number one goaltender in Arizona. I've seen that multiple places where they're like, "Oh, Antti Raanta's got his work cut out for him to beat out Darcy Kemper." Shut up.
So what?
Maybe if he
Shut up.
maybe if they made the playoffs last year and he came back healthy and Kemper was hot going into the playoffs, then he's gonna sit. But other than that, no, he's not
Nothing.
sitting.
No.
I was gonna say,
And that just shows Kemper's gonna be a stellar backup for Raanta.
Oh yeah.
they might have Barrett Hayton coming in this year too, who's their first overall draft pick, or not first overall, first round draft pick from last season. They're like number 5.
Yeah.
He's one of the guys they chose over what was it, Philip Zadina?
Ooh.
Who's still out there to score goals on everybody that passed up on him.
I forgot about that. Jesus.
Yeah, but this kid is he looks like he's gonna be pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
I was looking at his stats from last year. He played 39 games in the OHL and had 66 points.
66 points?
Yeah.
As a goalie?
No, what?
What?
Oh, I thought you were talking about a goalie.
No.
The whole time I'm like, what?
No, dude.
How did he do that?
That's nasty. Sign him now.
No, Barrett. He's fucking he's sick. But yeah, no. He's might be part of the team, like coming out of the start of the season, which would be not too shabby.
Yeah. How you guys feeling about their chances this year?
If they can stay healthy,
If healthy.
I can seriously see them possibly being that third spot. Definitely fucking fighting for a wild card for sure.
I want to let's point out, let's just say when we're doing predictions that the teams are going to be healthy throughout. And so just be like, oh, if they're healthy, like
on paper,
let's just assume.
right.
Yeah, all right. So
if
on paper,
every player plays the best of their abilities.
If they all have career years, they're still coming in 8th.
All right, we talked about Anaheim already, right?
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, I think third is probably a good spot for them. I think it's still going to be hard to get in the top 2. I think third is going to be their sweet spot, but they'll be in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think definitely I'm going to agree with the third spot for sure. I think they
Really?
can beat out. I think they can
Nolly's
beat out.
think it different.
I think they can beat out San Jose. San Jose lost.
That's
Pavelski.
the
Too
one.
much. They lost too
Yeah,
much.
that's the
Yeah.
one I think that they would be able to beat out. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's gonna be. I think they're right in that 3-4 spot for sure.
Yeah.
Because it's got to be. We'll get to it, but Calgary, Vegas, those are your more than likely your top two. I don't see them. I don't see any Pacific team making a wild card spot, so you have to be in that top three, really.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess I don't know. It's gonna be interesting, but you're right. If they do make it in that top three, San Jose is gonna probably be the one that drops out.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean
Sad
I'm
little
excited
run.
though. I hope they fucking make that top three.
Yeah.
They
It's gonna
deserve
be
it.
fun.
They,
Get the
It's
whiteout
gonna
going?
be it's
Yeah.
gonna be a fun team to watch for sure this year.
yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Sam.
I was gonna say, shout out to our boy Sam.
Sam.
All right, who's next on the list?
Calgary,
Calgary.
right?
Calgary.
Little Calgary action.
Wait. Before, who do you think was Arizona's top point getter last year?
Oh,
Oh,
Oh, I
That's
knew
hard.
this one.
it definitely isn't Clayton Keller.
it's not
Well,
Keller.
it is Clayton Keller.
Is it?
Are you kidding me?
So, nailed it, Poets.
Oh, yeah,
how
I
many
have
points?
it up too.
Oh, come on,
Oh my
Tanner.
god.
How many points?
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
How many
What's up?
points?
Oh, you want me to tell you?
No,
I
you
saw
have
it.
it
No,
pulled
I
up.
have
I know.
it.
Oh, it's
I'm asking them.
47.
Come on, Tanner.
Oh, what the fuck? I thought you said yes.
No, I never said yes. No means no, Tanner.
Oh shit.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
man.
But yeah, so one worse than Ryan Getzlaf.
So you want me to say it? No. All right, it was 47. No.
Son of a.
I don't know what I was listening to.
Oh,
I don't think
Come on.
anybody here said yes.
I got my own thing going on.
all right.
Is there an ice cream man out there? Is that why you're yelling? Yeah. Yeah. Ice
Fucking
cream.
right. 47 points, ice cream man.
All right,
Larson,
Calgary.
44. Dude,
Calgary.
no one on Arizona also broke 20 goals.
Well, yeah, that's typical
Really?
for them, though.
Yeah.
Highest is 19. Oh yeah, they lost Galchenyuk. I don't know. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
He had like their most goals, tied with Brad Richardson.
Yeah, Richardson. I forgot
Yikes.
too. Yeah,
he had like a four goal game and a hat trick too, in two separate occasions.
So he
Brad
line
Richardson.
ate it.
Yeah,
He line ate it last year.
yeah.
Where'd Brad Richardson go?
Did he leave? Did he get traded?
He's not on their.
He was on
Is that
their.
it?
He was projected to be on their fourth line.
Oh, was it? Did I just miss it?
It was either third or fourth line. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's fourth line center. Okay, never
Yeah.
mind. Sorry. LOL.
JK.
So Calgary.
Mhm.
Well, one of the things they haven't done yet is sign Matthew Tkachuk,
Yeah.
but they re-signed.
Unreal.
They got Sam Bennett, Mangia Payne, Dave Riddick. They got rid of Mike Smith.
Who'd they bring in?
They got-
Talbot.
Yeah, they got
Talbot,
Talbot.
yeah,
They got
so-
Cam Talbot.
David Riddick is going to end up being the number one there because Cam Talbot is the number one is a joke.
Yeah, that's rough.
They signed Brandon Davidson.
They traded real deal for Milan Lucic.
That's right.
Yikes.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, you're getting a lot of what you had last year out of these guys. Obviously, goaltending changed, but offense. I mean, they're one of the most productive teams. I think they had top goals, like goals for out of the league.
Mm-hmm.
They had one of the best scoring lines with
Goudreau,
Johnny
Monahan,
Gaudreau.
and Lindholm.
Yep.
Yeah,
They were
so, I
they were
mean-
disgusting.
Yeah, that line is just gross. I guess we can go back and say that trade was in favor of Calgary.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You guys can all agree with that.
Absolutely.
Well, Mark Giordano had a sick fucking year too.
He had a career
Norris
year.
trophy.
Yeah, career year. I mean, their back end looks good too. Yeah, Giordano, Brody, Hannafin, and Hamonic, just as their top four. And then when they get Tkachuk signed, it's Tkachuk, Backlund, and Frolik. Which Frolik going up there, I loved Frolik as a Hawk. He was one of my favorite like role players, and up there he's been killing it. I think he's been one of their most consistent players. Truthfully, I mean, you're not going to.
He's been Marcus Kruger for them.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly. And you're not
100%.
going to get a ton of points, but what you are going to get is consistency and roughly about the same amount of points every year. So,
Mm-hmm.
and then Lucic, I forget how to say this. Mark Jankowski. Thank you. And then Sam Bennett as your third line.
Sam Bennett just became like a grinder.
I know he was supposed to be this
He's like
like
a
skill guy, and
yeah, he's like a 4th overall pick, and then just like, nah, I'm just gonna fucking grind.
I'm gonna
Best
grow
thing
the
about
sickest
Sam
mustache.
Bennett, though. Yes.
Mustache,
That
yeah. I'm gonna
muzzy.
grow a sick mustache and just try and drop the gloves with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Solid, dude. That lineup changes significantly though when you do throw Kachuk in there.
Oh, 100%.
yeah,
It changes that lineup significantly.
Yeah, he's
yeah.
he's a big time player. He's in that role that there's not many guys like that in the NHL right now. So having him in the lineup is huge, where he can put up a ton of points, but he can grind like the best grinder out there, and then he's just one of the best guys in front of the net in the league, honestly.
Yep.
And
He draws so many penalties.
yeah, he's one of the few guys that got in Drew Doughty's head, which is
Yeah.
hard to do.
The problem is, though, they only have just over $6.3 million in cap space for him.
And
Yep.
it's been rumored that he wants 10.5.
How much are they paying Lucic?
5.25.
He's the fourth
but-
highest
But
forward.
they gained $500,000 by trading for him.
Mm.
So
They're
he was actually
paying-
cheaper than James Neal.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
and then they-
Edmonton held cap or retained cap on him, right?
Yeah, they did. Just because they wanted it to like even out to
Yeah.
Yeah.
or something. Yeah.
No. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
It was listed somewhere else. Sorry. It was other place.
And then they
Okay.
bought out Michael Stone, and then didn't they re-sign him?
Yeah, they re-signed him.
That's
for,
hilarious.
for
That,
league
like-
min.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah. And they stood.
I didn't know you could do that.
Brouwer.
So
I don't think you're supposed to.
is that two
It's-
paychecks or?
Yeah.
Yeah. One that says like no thank you, we didn't want you, and one that says like, yeah, here you go. League min.
We'd rather pay you league min than have you go play somewhere else, I guess.
That's somebody who like there's two options on the computer that says buy out or keep, and they went to go and click keep, but accidentally moved the mouse over and hit buy out. Like, shit, damn it.
Like one of
Refresh
the page finally actually loaded up all the way and it slightly moved it over and you're like, fuck.
Damn it.
Yes, I mean, how you guys feeling about this one?
I
I
think they're
think-
still gonna be good.
I think they're still going to be good. They downgraded from last year, though.
Yeah.
They need to get Matthew Tkachuk.
Yeah.
They need to get him back because he was a source of energy for them. You know.
Oh, wow, yeah. He's also their fourth leading scorer.
Mhm.
Yeah. He's the kind of guy that you need in the lineup because just what he brings is just a game changer. You know, like he can have one big shift and like the whole swing of the game can just change, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Throw the body around and just change the vibe of everything. What is that? Him?
Top
Man.
point getter.
Jesus.
Tanner, don't look.
Oh, I'm not
Dro.
looking. Yeah,
How
it's
many?
Dro.
99.
Okay. Tanner
Yeah.
or Jarom's looking. No, I
I'm
love
not because-
Johnny ham and cheese. I love it.
No, it was the dice thing last year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad though. Like 99 points. It's all right. Man, that lineup is just scoring. Just
Yeah.
scoring.
Couldn't do
That's
that
the
against
thing,
the
though.
Avalanche, though.
Just double the points of Getzlaff and double the points of Clayton Keller. Jesus.
I gotta say they're gotta be top 2 this year again.
Oh,
right?
easily.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think they're number 2.
If
Yeah.
if
I
they
think they're
don't
number 2
start-
also.
If they don't start the season with Matthew Tkachuk, I think if he holds out until maybe December 1st, or if he doesn't even play at all, yeah, they're not going to be finishing number 1.
Tanner, we gotta assume that everybody's playing.
Yeah, but he's not signed. It's not like he's hurt.
I know, I'm kidding. Jesus, don't get so defensive.
I'm not.
I'm
all right,
fucking
I'm quitting.
with you.
I'm packing my stuff up and I'm going home.
You are home.
Okay, well then let's keep going. Yeah, they're definitely top 2. I think. Yeah, no, I would say 2.
I think we're all gonna be on the same page for most of these teams
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
for this
Well, 'cause
division at least.
I was going to say
division.
the Pacific is so like it's so set in stone already, pretty much. Like,
It
you already
almost
know where
writes
everybody's going to be.
itself.
Yeah. True.
Yes.
So, speaking of teams we know where they're going to be, Edmonton.
Edmonton.
Oh, what's up, bottom?
What did
on the
you
bottom
do,
of the
Edmonton?
barrel scraping for you?
Oh, jeez. All right. So, like we just said, Jesus Christ, stop this. Well, they traded for James Neal, so they got rid of Milan Lucic. So maybe James
That's
Neal
a
finds
positive.
it and can put the puck in the back of the net.
Do you guys think that they're going to put him with McJesus at all?
Not right
I
away.
doubt it
No.
because he can't keep up, like speed wise, probably.
Maybe on the power play, though.
On the
yeah.
power play,
Power
yeah,
play, yeah.
I could see him just sitting in front.
Wasn't last year's first year not getting 30
30
think
what
so.
points?
Yes,
Goals.
I think.
points?
Yeah.
No, I
30.
think goals.
Oh, wait, are you talking about Lucic?
No,
No.
Neal.
James Neal.
Neal.
Oh,
We're talking
that's
about
right.
Edmonton. We moved on.
Yes, that's right. I don't know why I was still thinking Lucic.
No, it's not.
No.
He had 7 last year. Then the year before, 25. The year before, 23.
Made 20.
I was going to
First year not
say,
getting
20. Yeah, 20.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Okay.
He's always
Yeah,
had
that
at
was-
least
seems
20.
too high.
Yeah. So I mean, that's fuck. If you can get him back to just 20 goals, that's big.
Yeah, I mean that helps out that team so much more because
Yeah.
they fucking get goal scoring from no one besides 3 people.
Yeah. So
19 points last year.
that's tough. Their projected lines are Leon Draisaitl, Connor McDavid.
Yep,
That's all I got. That's
about it.
Yeah.
That's about it.
No,
And
they
you
got
put-
Zach Cassian on that line, and then second line they got Neil, Nugent Hopkins, and Sam Gagner.
And Gagne making his way back.
And that's I'm not even gonna go through the bottom pairings.
Yeah.
Who do they even have on defense anymore?
Oscar Clefbaum and Adam Larson. Darnell
Sick,
Moose.
Adam Larson.
That's about it.
Yeah. Evan Bouchard. He was playing.
Bouchard, yeah.
He was playing in London with Boquist.
Ooh, Boquist.
He was the 10th overall pick, like right behind Boquist too. Chris Russell and Matt Benning.
Speaking of Edmonton, Steele trade of maybe forever, Drake
Yep.
Caggiula.
Yep.
Because fuck, what's his name? I can't even think of his stupid name anymore. Manning.
Oh,
Brandon Manning,
Brandon
yeah.
Manning.
He makes it to Edmonton, and McDavid's like, well, I would not have done that trade. And he gets
Well, no,
shit canned
they
all the way
asked
down
if
to
they
the
asked if
EC.
He was okay. They
Yeah.
asked McDavid if it was okay, but it was just like he's like, oh, I guess
He's a
And then-
teammate now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then he goes all the way down to the EC, and Drake
He's
Caggiula was on the top line
though.
all last year. Yeah.
Holy fuck.
So, hey, Stan's a clown though, right, Jaron?
There was
He's
an article.
doing better.
Dolan.
Not to take it too far away from what we're doing right now, but I saw an article that was on Drake Caggiula where when he started his NHL career, he was 200 pounds. 2 years ago, he was 190 pounds. Last year, he was 180, and I think now he's gotten himself down to 170.
Jesus.
What?
Yeah,
So he's just getting lean.
just lean, mean fight machine.
Wow. Good for him.
Mean ECHL machine.
No, that's Drake Caggiula.
Oh, you're talking
Not
about Brandon
Brandon
Manning. I
Manning.
thought you were talking about
Yeah.
Brandon Manning. I was
No.
like, I'm like looking at like a bunch of other
What
like
is
cat
going on
friendly
with
stuff.
you right now?
You gotta start
Figure
listening.
your shit out. Yeah.
So, but God, you can't help but like think though, like I know Cap and everything like that, but if you had Taylor Hall and Caggiula still and Eberle on this team, like holy shit, that's a completely different roster. That's a completely different team. But
Yeah.
you don't.
No.
Yeah,
So-
you don't.
You're here.
That back end is still bad. Goaltending is still going to be an issue because Mike Smith can't.
And
He
They
can't be
signed-
consistent.
and
they signed Mikko Koskinen to 4.5 for 3 more years.
What the hell was that?
It was just
Peter
you know,
Chiarelli.
Peter
was the-
Shirley's like, oh, they're gonna can me. I'm gonna make it worse for
Yeah,
him.
I was just about to say Peter Chiarelli was just firing off at that
I think-
point.
I
Just,
think that
I'm
was
gonna do
just-
stupid things.
That was them also just telling Talbot, they're like, yeah, we're done with you.
Yeah.
You're done. Yeah.
Didn't they give up
So-
a first? Did they give up a first for Talbot, or what was it?
I don't remember.
It was free agent, I thought.
No, I thought it was.
No,
I thought
when
it was, they traded for him, and then they signed him like to a.
Oh, are you
deal.
talking when they acquired him originally? Oh, okay. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't
How
remember.
long ago did they get him?
Like two years
20,
ago.
Yeah,
years
I
ago?
think 20. No, their first year
It was
in the playoffs
McDavid's
was his
first year. Yeah.
Let's see.
So 2015, I think 2016.
Let's
Oh,
see.
Jesus.
I want to say.
I'm gonna find
Yeah.
it.
No. I don't
Oh
know.
yeah, it was a second, a third, and a seventh. Is what
Jesus.
the Rangers got for him, and then
What did those turn into? Do you know? Does it say?
no, it doesn't
No.
say. Like
Okay,
I just
that's okay, no.
when I found it real quick.
I mean, I
um,
found it, but I'm not even gonna attempt the names because I'll just fucking butcher the shit out of them. But they're none of them. I don't think are NHL players right now.
Well,
Okay.
it just shows how great their
Yeah.
prospects can be.
And then that turned into Anthony Stolarz, like all of that.
Yeah.
One is
so I'm not-
in
And
the
Anthony Stolarz
KHL.
is now in
Anaheim.
Anaheim.
Yeah.
So
Hilarious.
they just gave up so much.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm
And
not
nothing
gonna
to show for it.
I'm not gonna ask who's the leading point getter because we all know.
Yeah,
Yes.
Leon Draisaitl.
Yeah, nailed it. But who is the third leading goal scorer?
Yeah.
Was it Nuge?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many do you have?
I
wanna
want to
say, like,
say
50.
Ooh.
56.
Do you want me to say it since I have it?
Is it
It's-
60s?
It's really nice.
That's nice.
69. How about it?
So it goes
I figured he would be a
116.
little bit higher.
It goes 116, 105, 69, 41. And it was Darnell Nurse was fourth as a defenseman. Jesus. And McDavid missed 4 games and he had 116. Oh my God, he's so good.
Yeah, he's not too bad.
Unbelievable.
So where did they
Unbelievable.
finish?
I mean-
Last. All of the lasts.
You think they finished last?
No, they're
All
not
of the last.
I think they finished ahead of Anaheim.
Yeah.
I think
Really?
they finish
And I think they might finish ahead of Los
LA.
Angeles.
Yep. That's exactly what
I think
was
I think they're in like the 6th spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
6.
Yeah, just like you have McDavid and Draisaitl, and they're like 23, 21. and like
they're each putting up 100 points. Like you're gonna win games just off of that.
like somebody between Mike Smith and Mikko Koskinen will be able to make a save, and they'll be able to put in at least a goal. And
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, do they have anybody else coming in like this year that's like a surprise? Oh, they don't even have Puljujärvi. Like, he's not playing for him.
Yeah, because he
Forgot
doesn't
about
want
that.
to.
Yeah, he's just like, fucking trade me.
He's
Watch
playing in
Edmonton.
Europe, right?
Watch Edmonton win the division this year,
No, fuck it.
and
This is
us
a-
just being
they're
totally batshit wrong.
I feel like they're such a fucking wild card. Like they're either going to
Just because of McDavid.
They're either going to be a playoff team or they're just going to be absolute trash. I don't feel like they're going to be in the middle at all in this division.
No.
Yeah.
It's
Bottom
one.
three.
It's one end of the spectrum. I think with these guys.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Well, yeah. And now LA.
LA.
Speaking of the bottom of the barrel.
What has LA done this offseason? Does anybody know?
Gotten older, probably.
Yep, that's about right.
That's mhm.
They have really
Talks about trading everybody.
They have the Kempe brothers together.
Adrian, and then what's the other one? Mario.
Yeah, and he was playing. Mario was just in Arizona last year, and then Adrian's been playing for him. He actually looks like a decent young player.
Yeah, I like him.
But there's no like notable signings or like notable losses that I can think of.
Because they can't.
They drafted Turcotte, which could be a spark for their lineup if he can go there and put the puck in the back of the net. Because he's supposed to be one of the best goal scorers out of this draft.
Yeah.
So I mean, it'll be interesting to see him out there, but they really didn't do anything at all.
Is this the first year Doughty's deal too?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the big boy deal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they still have $1.32 million as a recapture penalty for Mike Richards for one more year.
Do you think he's been able to get into Canada yet, or?
Oh my God! And then their buyout history. So Dion Phaneuf this year they have a 2.187 cap hit. Next year it jumps up to $4 million.
Jesus.
And then the following year it drops back down to like just over $1 million.
Oh,
That's
for the
weird.
Dion Phaneuf.
Yeah, that's fucking terrible.
Jesus.
That's hysterical.
Yeah,
They can move.
they don't have much going for them right now.
No.
Holy shit.
No.
That
What-
Mike Richards, so they have a recapture penalty this year of 1.3, and then they have a terminated
Yeah,
salary,
so
and he gets paid all the way through 25, 26. He's making a couple $100,000 a
yeah,
year.
so the recapture penalty that has nothing to do with him like getting paid. That's just because of them getting rid of his contract. That's the
Oh yeah, I remember that was like a big
So
Okay.
stupid.
Um,
So stupid.
yeah.
What are the odds that Quick plays the entire season as a King?
I don't know.
Uh,
Yeah,
I
that's a
don't
lot
know.
of talks. Yeah, there's a lot of talks that him.
You
and-
would have thought that he would have gotten traded in the offseason at some point, though.
I thought Columbus was going to try to grab
I don't
him.
know. Yeah,
I
that
honestly
would've
never
been-
even thought of that. That's holy shit.
So I feel like it might be
even
for
no
him
trade.
to get traded. It might be a big team's like head goalie goes down, or their goalie's not doing as well as they thought, as in like maybe at Calgary, where
Mhm.
Talbot's not doing as much as they would hope he
Yeah, but
would.
would they trade within the division?
No,
though?
yeah,
No.
Yeah. But I mean, that's just like what I'm saying, like
Like
that type of
example.
scenario.
Right.
Like
But
it
yeah, I
seems
mean-
like they're ready to run with Cal Pedersen and was it Jake Campbell?
Yeah.
Jack
Yeah.
Campbell.
Does
Jack
does Quick have a no trade clause?
He
at
has
all?
no
Or modified?
clauses. No,
Nothing.
nothing.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Because that was
That's-
another thing I was thinking of. Maybe he just didn't like the team that they brought up and just declined it.
Yeah. God, their defense is brutal.
Like the only thing I can see is like if like a team that's maybe like looking for a goalie that doesn't have maybe the money to spend, but like some cap space, they might be deterred because his base salary is $7 million this year, and then it drops to 3.5 next year. So
And his cap
that's
hit's
real. His cap hit's only
5.8.
5.
5.8.
Yeah. So like real money wise, he's making $7 million. And all.
Yeah.
Like if you're thinking of like a team that doesn't want to spend too much, but maybe I don't know, something like Arizona, but they already have like if Antti Ranta goes down, but that's also in the division thing. So fuck.
Yeah, but
like
it's
I'm trying to
also
think outside the division. It's kind of hard. Like maybe Carolina, like if
Yeah.
Mrazek goes down or something like that.
Yeah, Carolina wouldn't be a bad bet.
I think Columbus makes a lot of sense.
yeah,
Columbus
does
does
make a lot of
too,
sense,
but
yeah. And they have
Buffalo.
cap space.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Buffalo,
like,
maybe.
oh my god.
New Jersey. I feel like New Jersey should have done something like that because of all the moves they made over the summer to make their like
And
defense and forwards better.
They like that Blackwood kid though.
well, and you
Yeah,
have
they
to
do.
think about this too. Jonathan Quick was born out east, so
Yeah.
if anything,
He's
he'd
from-
probably want
yeah,
to go.
He
He
still
would want to
lives,
go out
he
east.
still lives in Connecticut.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean their lines we don't have to go through them because they're just atrocious.
They're so old.
Yeah, and I mean there's a lot of talks about like Jeff Carter getting moved too. I think he might catch a spark to end his career if he gets moved somewhere decent. But yeah, I mean these guys are bottom to me in
Yeah.
the Pacific. They've got to be.
Bottom feeders.
Just their style of hockey that they played when they were going to those cups, like the big banging style, has just worn them down so much.
Yeah.
Andrei Kopitar is so fucking strange to me right now, though. Too, he put up 95 points like 2 seasons ago, and then put up 60 last year, or he put up 92. So it was 52 3 years ago, 92
I was gonna say.
2 years ago, and 60 last year. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so weird, but you never know what you're gonna get. He's paid.
Never
so
know
much.
what you're gonna get.
He's getting paid so
Just
much.
Like a box of
Shit balls.
chocolate.
I was just thinking that.
Ilya Kovalchuk. Ugh.
Ugh.
It's
So happy that
just
that
like I'm
didn't
just
work
like
out.
looking at this like
Yeah.
this team.
Oh,
this
Slava
team.
Voinov. Is Slava Voinov for sure coming back?
No, we can't.
No,
What? Yeah. And what happened with that? I heard
He
that
still-
they made an appeal for him to come back.
it
Yeah,
was
they-
like
Or
he
they
he
still
made an
denied
has,
appeal
it.
to come back.
he still has
denied
a
it?
48 game suspension or something like that, and then he's free to come back. But I think it's pretty much
Isn't it one of those things where all of the GMs in the NHL have to sign off on it before he can come back?
no. I think it's once he serves, they gave him a suspension, and once that suspension is up, he's free to come back. I think that's if they want to let him back right away, they would have had to all approve it. But I think it's pretty much like one of those things where nobody is going to sign. He's blacklisted from the NHL.
That's crazy.
Well, why gotta be black?
What?
God damn it, Poetzy.
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, LA
is gross.
West.
We're done with them.
Bayard. Okay, yeah, last place.
We spent
That's
too
what
much
I'm
time on
saying.
them.
Mhm. Who's next?
Who is next? I don't know that.
San Jose.
San Jose.
And Josie.
San Jose.
This one is weird for me because they lost a lot.
They did.
Um,
Let's talk about what they lost. They lost, I believe, Jonas Donskoy, Gustav Nyquist. They lost Joe Pavelski. I don't know.
Yeah,
like
that's the biggest one.
Those are the big three that they lost.
mhm.
They were, for whatever reason, they were able to sign Kevin LeBlanc for like no money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's stupid.
What the hell?
I don't know what that was about.
What does he have to prove? He was a 1-year deal too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it 1 year, 1 million?
I think so. Yeah.
Jesus.
Let me get
Yeah.
That's so
Fire your agent, Kevin.
Yeah.
Kevin Money in LeBlanc, bro. Like that's
Yeah.
No money in LeBlanc.
He's got no money in
completely
LeBlanc.
You ruined your nickname.
Especially after like the state tax in California, you're probably getting half. So you're probably making $500,000 plus minus your fees and everything like that for your agent and
Yeah.
everything. So you're not making much money right now.
What does Doug Wilson have on him?
I wish
Doug
Doug Wilson
Wilson
on
is-
everybody.
Yeah.
He's phenomenal. He is so good at that kind of thing.
But he keeps giving Joe Thornton $2 million. Just
But, you know, it's
sign
not-
him to
Yeah.
league min.
I
Like,
was just
how do you
about
get
to say-
LeBlanc
Well,
cheaper than Joe Thornton?
yeah, exactly.
How do you do that?
LeBlanc had 56 points, tied with Evander Kane, who makes what 6 or 7 million a year, 7 million a year.
Yeah.
And he had 5 more points than Joe Thornton. He goes, "Hey Kevin, I'm gonna give you $1 million." He's like, "All right, cool, sounds great." He's like,
Can't
"Well,
wait to be a part of the team again.
You hear
Joe,
all
you,
this.
Joe, you want $2 million?" He's like, "All right, that's fine." It's like-
You hear all the stories about Thornton just taking care of everybody. He's probably LeBlanc's just probably like, whatever. Joe's got me, you know.
Or Joe's just like, you want me to keep
Yeah,
taking
Joe's just
care
writing
of
checks every 2 weeks, just like, okay, 3,000.
you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever looked at how much like his career earnings are on
No,
Joe
it's
Thornton?
stupid,
friendly?
though.
yeah, it's stupid.
109 million?
Jesus Christ.
Yep,
Fucking insane.
Phenomenal.
not a big deal.
Yeah, I mean their lines. I mean they still look good. Losing Pavelski is huge though. I can't
That's
believe
tough.
they I guess apparently they offered him a 3-year deal and he wanted that 4th year and Dallas offered him up that 4th year. Right? He got a 4-year deal.
Yeah.
I believe so.
That was the big selling point for him. And I don't understand how if you're San Jose, you're not giving him whatever he wants, basically. That where you can stay
Because they
within
don't have
the cap.
anything. They don't have everything to
Pavelski-
give him.
Yeah.
Pavelski signed a 3-year deal, so it was a 2 year.
So it was a 2-year offer there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's literally your captain after the shitstorm that happened where they blew the playoffs against LA. They all fucking went mental and they stripped Joe Thornton of the sea and they gave it to Pavelski and he was their knight in shining armor basically. And he's been their best playoff performer, one of the best playoff performers in the NHL over the past couple of years. I mean, I don't know, not even being able to find a way to give him an offer is pretty bad. But I mean, Logan Couture is another guy that we've talked about as a huge gamer. He gets
we never talked about that. He was named captain a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, he got to see. I mean, Meyer, Couture, LeBlanc, and then Kane, Hurdle, and Gambrel. I mean, that's their top 6. And then you got Sorensen, Thornton. So I mean, and then I'm not sold on their D either. Like I like Carlson a lot, and if he's healthy, he could be a game changer. But defensively, him and Burns are they're not your top pairing, but
They
I don't
have
know.
so much money tied up in like older defensemen too.
And
Mhm.
11.5.
I was gonna say about the Joe
Christ.
Pavelski thing too. Is like it sucks for them because he's good for at least 65 points and pretty much guaranteed 30 goals.
yeah, and not only that, but he's blocking shots. He's playing PK. He's playing power play. Like he's playing big time minutes for them.
Yeah,
But they've got $19.5 million tied between Burns and Carlson, and Burns is signed for 6 years, and Carlson's signed for 8. Burns is 34 and Carlson's 29.
Yeah.
And then, well, don't forget that they also have Vlasic. He's 32 and he's making $7 million
for 7 more years. So
Yep.
like
Jesus.
this decor is going to turn into the LA Kings decor maybe pretty quick.
That Vlasic contract is going to be the Seabrook contract for him.
Oh yeah.
And he doesn't even have any cups. And it's going to be
True.
like, what is happening?
Yeah, and then who knows what the hell's going on with Marty Jones?
Yeah, no. Because
I mean,
you've either got 60 saves on 60 shots, Marty Jones, or you've got I can't make
3 goals on 6
right.
6 shots, and he's getting pulled. Yeah. So I mean that could be huge if he can't figure his fucking game out.
And Aaron Dell is still the backup there, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I like him. I like him.
Point getter last year, top point getter.
Logan
Tor?
No.
Is it Thomas Hurdle?
Nope. That's 3. Couture was 3rd. Hurdle was 2nd.
Is it Pavelski?
Nope.
Burns.
Oh, yeah.
Burns.
Oh, Brett Burns.
How many did you get, Poets?
Oh, shit.
70, 80, 80, 90,
No.
80, 85.
83.
83.
You're close. Tanner, stop looking up the stats. Trying to make this fun for everybody.
I'm not doing anything.
You said no to him, and then you're like, up. So I know what you're doing.
Dude, you can't even see me when I'm not talking.
It's not accurate because I don't have that setting on.
I gotcha. Yeah. Sick.
So how are you guys feeling about them? I feel like 3rd, maybe bubble team.
Yeah, I'm saying 4th.
They're going to shit on us. They're going to shit on us and be a top team again.
Just go to the final.
Yeah.
That's the same thing too, though. Those guys, like on paper, they always look like they're not gonna like put up the numbers and all that, and then every year towards the end of the season, they're in the race for that top spot.
New guys come out and have good years. Yeah.
Timo Meyer's only fucking 22.
Yeah.
Christ. That's just ridiculous. I still think they're going to come in 4th. I think they regress without having Pavelski and not having a little bit more of that depth with like Donskoy and I don't know.
Yeah, I see that.
Just doesn't seem like it's going to happen.
No.
Agreed.
Okay, so moving on.
Vancouver.
What has
The
Vancouver
Elias
done?
Petterssons.
Yeah.
The Elias Petterssons, yeah. Oh, Vancouver also made the trade for JT Miller, which they gave up, like a 1st-round pick?
Yes.
It was something stupid.
Yeah.
They signed Michael Furlan. They signed Tyler Myers.
Besser got his contract.
Besser got paid.
Prince Besser.
So the 1st-round pick they traded to Tampa is conditions on if Canucks do not make the playoffs in 2019-2020, the 2020 1st-round pick will transfer to a 2021 1st-round pick instead.
So,
Oh, interesting.
Conditions get so weird. I love it.
I love them.
I feel like
It's Ottawa.
I feel like ever since like some teams got screwed on some like draft picks, they're like, okay, we'll make that trade, but there's one 4-part condition.
I just want to like put it in the details. There's one thing that so the thing is they're starting to have they're really good prospects, but because they were shit, they started giving out stupid contracts, and now it's starting to bite them. Like Antoine Roussel and Jay Beagle are both making $3 million for 3 more years. That's tough.
Well, what about
and I mean, you got Louis Eriksson up.
Louis Eriksson, there it is.
$6 million for another 3 years too, which I mean, at
they were
least
just trying to fill that team out, and they were like,
exactly.
You have to overpay for these guys because
so you have to do it. Yeah. I don't know. Did you say that they added Tyler Myers too?
I did say that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Their highest paid players are Alexander Edler, which is rightfully so. He's been there like forever, and he's just been a solid guy. Tyler Myers at $6 million, and then Louis Eriksson at $6 million.
I like that Myers move though. Tyler Myers move.
Yeah, that's big. I mean, their pairings right now, Edler, Myers, Quinn Hughes, which he could have a breakout year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and his
he's
first
in Calder
technical
talks.
Yeah, absolutely. His first, I guess, his rookie year technically. He looked good in the few games he played last year. But him and Chris Tanev and then Jordy Ben and I don't even know who.
I forgot about Jordy Ben.
Stetcher. Yeah.
Stetcher. Stetcher's the one that got labeled by Taylor Hall.
Oh, that was awesome.
That sucks being the guy that nobody knows until you talk about the video of him getting laid out.
Hey there, RJ Umberger.
Yeah. Oh. I like Jordy Ben on that bottom too. Like I think he's a solid. Like he can eat a couple minutes and be a solid defenseman.
I like that second D pairing like the most.
Hughes and Tanev.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be really good.
Real good.
That's the thing. This team's they definitely built themselves for the future, and their future's coming very soon, and it's very bright. I mean, but like we saw last year, once Pettersson's out, like when he got hurt last year, they started to fall off. I mean, Besser's numbers went down big time, and the rest of the team just didn't look as good. So, I mean, without him, they're not as good. But obviously, I mean, they're still. I think they have a bright future.
Does Pettersson keep the numbers up, or does he go through
absolutely.
rookies?
Have you seen him in training
I don't think he
camp?
has a rookie slump, man. He's
filthy.
Man,
he's filthy.
Yeah.
So
they need to do something though. I'm just looking at their cap, like that they have. They have 0 cap space right now, and
that's what I'm saying.
In 2 years, they need to pay Pettersson.
And you'll have one more year left of Louis Eriksson. And all those guys that we talked about.
Yeah, Jay Beagle and Antoine Roussel. And
yeah. So, I mean, their top 6 look pretty good.
Goaltending, they've got Markstrom and
Thatcher Demko.
Yes, Thatcher Demko.
That guy's been around the league of being like a prospect for like ever, I feel like.
He's
only 23.
I know.
Yeah, he was really talked about when he was with Boston College, I think.
Yeah.
He was huge there. And then I think he came in and he played like a couple games like 2 years ago with Vancouver, and then he played a little bit more last year, and now he's like full-time backup for them.
Yeah. He was full-time starter at Utica like the previous 2 seasons, and last year he was kind of split between, it looks like. I don't know if he was hurt or anything, but it said that he played 9 games in Vancouver. He played 16 in Utica.
Yeah.
So he might have just been like on the big club and scratched and just like practicing with them.
No, I think he was hurt.
Was he hurt?
Yeah.
So speaking of cap, we forgot to mention.
Yes.
Bobby Lou retiring fucks them.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh my God, yeah.
That's right.
3 more years to $3 million. For Bobby Lou.
That sucks.
Hey, that goes back to his comments when he was trying to get traded to my contract sucks.
Yeah.
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 That's fucking
that's terrible.
That's poop.
So that is poop.
So obviously Pettersson was their leading point getter. How many did he get?
It was in the 60s, right?
66.
Fucking Tanner.
Did I get it right? I didn't even look it up.
What'd you say?
66.
Yep, nailed it.
Bing. I didn't look it up this time. I'm looking at it now. Bo Horvat.
I was watching like a video on him, like a little montage from his season last year. It still is baffling to me how hard he could shoot a puck.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's incredible.
He looks like he does not look like he leans it into it at all, and it just rips right off his stick.
That he's as big as my pinky, like muscle wise. Like what? How does this even happen?
Did you see the pictures of him like last year's offseason compared to this year's offseason though?
Yes.
No.
And then they compared it to Captain America before and after he got his like transformation.
Did he get yoked this year?
Yeah, he put on a lot of muscle.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Did you see the video going around yesterday about like posers trying to do a interview, and Pettersson just comes in and it's just like because he's in front of Pettersson's locker, just like nudges him out of the way, puts his gloves in there.
That's funny. Yeah, they're gonna be a good team, man. They got a lot of good young talent, so
I think
they're probably gonna like if we're gonna start doing predictions. I think that they're gonna be right where they were last year, around 5.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
they're getting closer to being like towards a bubble team, depending on
Yeah.
how well they do. But yeah, I think they're not this year, but the following year is going to be their big breakout year that they might be able to push for a playoffs.
Over or below 500?
500.
What were they last year?
They were right
They're
at
below.
500.
500.
Were they really?
They were 35, 36, and 11.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to say above.
Yeah, I'm gonna say above as well.
I'm gonna say
just
at 500.
I can see them getting like 40 wins.
Yeah.
I was gonna also mention, I just looking at it now, like that Bo Horvat trade basically for that draft pick from Corey Schneider. I think it looks pretty fucking good for Vancouver right now.
Yeah.
You don't say.
You don't say.
Especially since Corey Schneider didn't win a single game in the year of
For
2018.
Yeah.
Year of 2018.
Yeah, the entire year.
Calendar
of
year?
2018. Yeah.
It's rough.
Ridiculous.
Terrible.
And now on to
The Chicago
the
Wolves.
biggest team
Vegas.
of this podcast.
Yeah.
Well,
Vegas, baby. Well, no, like this particular podcast.
This particular
like
one.
episode.
Okay, gotcha. This episode.
Sorry,
yeah.
that's my fault.
No, you're
We're a
good.
Vegas
Hawks.
podcast now.
Hogs.
Hogs.
Just let me hog.
Let me know when you want me to talk.
Sorry, go ahead. We can keep chilling it up, bro.
Hell yeah.
Chill.
bro.
Chill.
So Vegas didn't really have much going on in the offseason, you know. They
Didn't really need to.
They lost Ryan Carpenter to the Blackhawks
How are
and
ya?
Philip Holm to the
Suck it.
Blackhawks.
Suck it.
Not a big deal.
Man, stupid idiot.
Pierre Edward Bellmeyer went to Colorado.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they really didn't sign anybody. It looks like I don't remember any notable trades from them at all.
Like Poet said, they really didn't need
They
to.
signed. Yeah, they
They didn't
signed
need to.
like Brandon Peary and like
Really, this
The
I think
Carlson
this
contract.
offseason. Yeah. This offseason, I think for them was more so just kind of like the Sharks. Well, no, more
shoring
like the
up their
Sharks.
lines.
More like the Sharks after they blew their lead against LA was kind of like a mental regroup.
But
I think because
this
that
one's
was
more the league fucking them than them fucking themselves.
I think it was more so just like a let's reset here a little bit, take some time off.
Yeah.
Their lines look so good.
Yeah.
And to be quite honest with you, the biggest pickup that they wanted to make, that they would have made in this offseason, they made at the trade deadline with Mark Stone.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah. Their top line, Patrick,
And they already
Stastny,
signed him
Stone.
before that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, that line is just gonna be nasty.
Mhm.
And then Marchessault, Carlson, and Riley Smith, and then I'm glad Peary finally made it to the NHL because I feel like he's been grinding it through the A, but he's been like one of the best AHL players, like
He's so
for a couple
underrated.
of years. Yeah, and like
Dude, I feel like he's always
just
signing
produces.
for league minimum, and
Yeah,
he's always putting up like
absolutely.
fucking 12 goals,
Yeah.
in like 25 games. Like, it's
and then he
it's
gets dropped
weird
back
say.
down to the A.
Yeah, it's so weird.
I mean,
And-
yeah, even their third line, it's Peary, Eakin, and Tuck. I mean, that's a solid line. And then they're projecting that Cody Glass is going to make the team for the fourth line with Ryan Reeves. I mean, and Thomas Nosek. I mean, that's a solid fucking lineup, top to bottom.
It is.
I think Vegas is so lucky too. Like, they're one of the only teams that I feel like with their cap, their highest paid players are their first line players and not just like buried in the lineup somewhere. Like, it literally is like Stone, Pacioretty, Stastny. It's like 1, 2, 3, and then Carlson, Smith, Marchessault 1, 2, 3. Like, that's how their cap goes.
Yeah.
How their lines go, and it's like how you want it to work.
Yeah, they.
Mhm.
That's the thing. Yeah, they started from scratch, so they didn't start with any bad contracts. Really, I mean, their worst contract is probably Ryan Reeves at 2.7, but that's not even bad.
It's not.
It's really not bad.
That's like that would be a typical contract for him, I think.
Right, and he's only signed for one more year. So I mean, even if it turns out bad, and he's been good for them too.
And they turned that Clarkson contract into Sparks.
Yeah, which
So
Yeah.
the goaltending depth.
Who's in
she
Not
also
great.
said, "Hey, I have a better chance of making the team in Vegas." And first cuts he made, he got cut.
Yeah.
Hogtown.
They still have a bunch of picks coming up in the next few years too.
Oh yeah.
Jesus
And-
Christ, yeah, they do.
They have Cody Glass coming in this year, which is their first ever draft pick.
Yeah,
We
they're
heard a little bit about him.
Yeah.
No,
We get into that a little more.
We'll get a little get a little insight on Cody Glass a little bit later.
their D isn't the best, but it's not terrible either.
No.
Their D works with their system. That's the way it's been since they've become a team. It's just
That's the best way to put it.
fit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nate Schmidt being out for a good portion last year.
Because he got suspended for using steroids?
Which he still to this day decline or says it didn't happen.
Yeah. I think that kind of put him back a little bit because they had a tough start last year from what I remember.
Yeah.
It was I mean, it's clearly not the same start that they had from the year before. Where it was just
but,
okay, at what point are they going to start losing, right?
Yeah.
No, didn't they start out like 7-1 or something like that? I thought it was like a pretty ugly October for them.
It could have been.
Where everybody was just like, okay, well, this is what we thought was going to happen.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah. But I think having him full season is going to end up helping. We talked about Shea Theodore before too.
I forgot they also traded Nikita Gusev.
Oh yeah.
Who they just didn't have room for, really.
Mm-hmm.
Not even on like a top like 2 lines or like money wise. They just
he was the one that came over from the K and they were gonna put him in the A and he was like, no, I'm not doing that and went back to the K, right?
No.
No, that was that first or second guy that they signed.
What was his name?
Shit. He played like 2 games in Chicago for the Wolves and was like, yeah, I want to go. I'm going back to the K.
Oh my God. That's such a – who was that? That was 2 years ago.
What was his name? Did it start with an S?
Holy shit.
Svechnikov.
No.
No, I'm just trying to put something together. Slovechkin.
The slower version of Ovechkin.
Oh, yikes.
This is going to drive me crazy.
I know, I'm looking up
while you look that up, I mean, their back end, obviously you got Marc-Andre, who's been unreal since he went to
He's going to give them –
refound it. But I still don't like Malcolm Subban.
No.
I don't think he's good. Go ahead, Jarom. Say it.
I'm going to butcher this.
Yeah, we know.
Shipachyov.
Shipachyov?
Dude, you spell it out for me?
Shipachyov.
Shipachyov.
Yeah, Shipachyov.
That doesn't sound right. I don't know why.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
That's not like, oh, yeah, duh. Whatever.
Yeah,
Type it out. Type it out. Put in the chat. Type it out. Put in the chat.
He played 3 games with them.
That's hilarious, though.
This is electric podcasting right now.
Oh,
yeah, right.
Vadim Shipachyov.
Yeah, Shipachyov.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Come on.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right, don't act all tough now.
Hey, put your dick away.
All right, top point getter last year.
Fuck, Mark Stone.
No.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say, are you talking?
No,
full
like
season?
I think this was just
Vegas,
strictly Vegas. Yeah,
Strictly
Carlson?
Stone's not on here.
Carlson?
Pacioretty?
No.
Riley Smith?
No.
Ah, shit, Marcia.
Marsha. So. How many did you get?
55.
71. 59.
59.
What did,
how many did you get? 59, 71, 59, 59.
How many did Stone end with last year?
I don't know.
Oh. What did Carlson end with too? Because
Carlson had 56.
Okay.
So that's not bad. They had 5 20 goal scorers too.
Yeah.
Mark Stone
and Riley
had
Smith
73.
Had 19.
73 for Mark Stone. 33 goals, 40 assists.
And that was with a shit Ottawa team and then Vegas.
Well, yeah, which is so weird because when he was traded to, or I guess now it's so weird, but when he was traded to Vegas, he was the leading goal scorer right away.
Yeah.
He had 11 points with Vegas.
Yeah.
So
in how many games?
18.
Yeah. And then it only picked up from there. So a full year on that line. Watch out.
He had 12
Big fantasy pickup. Big fantasy pickup.
12 points in the playoffs.
Yeah.
He's good. And then the 7th, game 7 happened.
Yeah. So I think we can all agree, just going out on a limb, we can all agree that this is their year to finally win the division.
Yeah.
A full year, Mark Stone.
Finally win the division. Like it's been 10 years of heartache.
They've been just
Didn't they win the division the first year?
They won the division the first year.
Yeah.
No. It's finally happening. You're
Oh,
finally gonna win something.
finally gonna make it.
It's
Yeah,
their
you guys-
it's their division to lose easily.
Yeah.
Yeah,
With that, yeah.
they didn't no whole like notable like losses in free agency or anything like that. So
Yeah.
So long as everybody stays healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
so long
that's
as
key.
everybody
That's
stays
key.
healthy.
For that
And Mark
team,
Andre
they need
stays
healthy.
Mark Andre.
They
Yeah,
need
seriously.
healthiness.
I mean, honestly, they've shown in the past if Marc-Andre Fleury goes down, they can have like 4 or 5 other goalies come in and just
Yeah, I
win
know.
games.
Well, I don't think the answer is going to come in Malcolm Subban or Garrett Sparks. So,
No.
although who would have thought that the answer would have come in Maxime Lagacé either? So,
Yeah, right.
And
Whatever
Oscar
happened to
Dansk.
Oscar Dansk? Yeah,
yeah.
you can dance if you want to.
He's tearing it up in the A.
Speaking of the A,
Oh, speaking of the A,
we've got our
Send
interview.
it over. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's send it over to Lindsey. All right. Well, we are here and joined by a very special guest today, the Director of Public Relations for the Chicago Wolves, Lindsey Willhite. Lindsey, thank you so much for coming on. How are you today, man?
It's my pleasure. I'm doing great. What's new with you all?
Not much. Just real excited to talk with you a little bit more. I know we've been in contact with you for quite some time. Well, Jarom has been in contact with you for quite some time. So we're excited to have you on and talk a little bit about Wolves hockey and kind of dive into that side of Chicago hockey, because it was a great year for you guys last year.
Oh, it was unbelievable. It's one of those things where, you know, it's weird to be playing hockey in June, but people around here kind of accustomed to it between us and the Hawks. It was great to be back in that arena and made for a short off season, but it also got a lot of people excited, and we can't wait.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the best time of the year, right?
oh
Of
hell
course.
yeah!
Definitely.
Of course. So why don't we start out with kind of like a background on you a little bit. You know, how long have you been with the Wolves? You know, kind of going into, you know, how you got started with them.
Oh boy, here's the part where the people click off the podcast right off the jump. But hey, who am I to argue how we start this? This is going to be my 9th season with the Wolves. I joined them in 2011. Prior to that, I was a sports writer with the Daily Herald for 22 years, where I covered high schools, colleges, pros. I was fortunate enough to be in Houston when the White Sox won the World Series. I was fortunate enough to have beer poured on me the night at Wrigley in 2003 when we didn't know who Bartman was at the time, but trying to go down the left field line and find out who was out there. I got beer poured on me from the upper deck. I was on the ice in Philly in 2010 after the Hawks won that cup, and to kind of just be part of that atmosphere and see everybody just rejoice, and just it's probably the biggest, most satisfying celebration I've ever watched. I'm not part of it obviously because I'm chronicling it, but just to see the giddiness and the happiness and the relief and the families and the players and the Hawks staff and everybody just exulted in that achievement was an unbelievable part of my professional career. But then, you know, you stinking millennials, you don't read newspapers much anymore. So at some point I realized, hey, if I'm gonna have a job until I want to work, until I can retire, I need to find a new venue. And the Wolves are a fabulous place to be. It's a group. Obviously, hockey matters in Chicago, and sports matter in Chicago, and people like live sports. And I like being around athletes. I like writing about them. I like helping tell their stories. And so, poof, I joined the Wolves in 2011, and here we are now.
That's awesome. Did you actually have much of a hockey background going into doing that, or did you just kind of follow hockey going like throughout your life going up into that job?
So it's funny. I grew up in Champaign, where there's one rink in 100 square miles or something. So, you know, I never learned how to skate. Hockey didn't really matter that much. Cable TV, I mean, you couldn't really get the Hawks. You could get some road games on cable. So I wasn't a huge hockey fan growing up, but I moved up here, again, to signal how old I am. I graduated in 1988 and moved up to the Chicago area right after that. And I realized there was this huge community that goes to goes to bars and watches the Hawks because that's the only place you can watch the hockey. So I'd go to Maxfield's in Palatine and it'd just be jammed with people watching the game at the bar. And so I got into hockey that way. To say I was an expert would be way overestimating it. Really, the role I had with the Daily Herald was the Hawks would play and play and play and play, and the great Tim Sassone was our beat writer, and he was an unbelievable guy. And then it'd get close to the playoffs, and they'd say, "Hey, we need some more help from some other people. Lindsey, why don't you go out and help out and write some sidebars and do some things?" And so I would jump on when they would get close to the playoffs or in the playoffs, which meant in the 90s, a lot of years, I didn't help at all. There was I'm getting fuzzy on this. There was a year when the Hawks made the playoffs against the Blues, and Karpatsev might have actually had a game-winning goal in Game 1, and then the Hawks promptly got swept the rest of the way.
2001.
Yeah, 2001. I was going to say 02, but yeah, I'm glad you're here to fact check me here. And then it was 2009 when the Hawks came back around and really started building that squad and got close. So I was around for all that. And then 2010, and then 2011 when it was hard to go back to back, and they still almost made it out of that first round, and then switched over to the Wolves from there. So I was by no means a hockey expert. I'm by no means a hockey expert now, but hockey guys are the best athletes in sports to deal with, without a doubt, the best to be around. And so I'm grateful to be a part of the Wolves organization.
So out of all the years of covering and everything like that, do you have any specific, any specific stories that you wrote that you're like, that one was good. That one was a good one. I did well on that one.
No. It's a weird thing where I guess I said that's true. Usually I write something and I think, oh, that's crap. Can we swear? Can I say crap on here?
Oh yeah, say whatever you want.
You can say crap. You can say poop. You can say darn.
That was almost verging on shit. It was, I didn't really capture it there. And then maybe I'll go back 5 or 10 years later and go, that wasn't so bad. That wasn't the worst thing I ever wrote. But it's just kind of a weird thing to have. There was, before in addition to covering some pros, I covered a lot of college football and basketball. So when Illinois went to the NCAA championship game in 2005, I covered that team for several years, and I probably wrote a couple decent articles on that team. But you tend to remember the losses as opposed to the wins.
Yeah.
So now that you're doing the PR side of things, what's like a typical day for you with the Wolves?
Oh, I think the official answer is there is no typical day. But, yeah. Well, I'll give you an example. So for today, for example, it's Sunday. We're all off. Well, heck no. Today's the first day of kind of unofficial training camp for us. So after we get off this podcast, I'm gonna wipe a washcloth across my face, maybe even shower, and then head to Hoffman Estates, head to Trip on Ice Arena to go see the coaches and a few of the guys, and just kind of hang around and say, hey, what'd you do for your vacation? How was summer? So on, and see them on the ice a little bit. And then tomorrow morning, Monday, we get right into it, and we start camp. We'll have 5 days of camp, including 2 exhibition games, and then we roll right into game week in our opener Saturday, October 5 at Allstate Arena. So if it's a game day, I'm at the arena probably from 9 a.m. until midnight, doing notes, morning skate, getting the press box ready, doing videos, doing social media, and then the game itself. In the office, I have a social media coordinator, Jen Jordan, who's awesome, and a media relations coordinator, Spencer Engelnatsky, who's awesome, but leaving me in a week to move back to Madison. But anyway, so I oversee them. I work on, I don't even know how to, anything you see from the Wolves, whether it's a billboard, an ad, in the magazine, in the arena, any written word, I either write or edit. If you hear it on the score, so I'm editing those things. We're planning social media strategy. We're we're trying to get our message out in a million ways, and just trying to craft that as best I can.
Yeah, so that you brought up, like, you pretty much, building this whole like media plan and marketing. How hard is it for you to like plan marketing for a team that you kind of don't know on a daily basis if you're gonna have your top guys or who's gonna be there? So like, what do you do? Like, how hard is it to like try to build this team up to the community with not really knowing who's gonna be there?
That's a really good question. The short answer is that we try to brand that we are the Wolves. It's the old Seinfeld thing. You're rooting for laundry, kind of, right? We've been around. This is going to be our 26th year, so we've been around a long time. We've won 4 championships. Hopefully, you've been to a game or 5. If you're out there in the community. So you're rooting for the Wolves. You like the pregame show. You like the fact that we are this close to the NHL level. One of the things I like to cite in sorry for branding alert or PR alert, we've had 358 of our guys out of about 600 over the years have played in the NHL. So that's more than 50% of our guys. So they've either been in the league or they're on their way to the league. So that's kind of a hopefully a relevant point, or something that people appreciate without having to specifically say, hey, we've got Eric Brandstrom, first-round draft pick, who's going to be there soon, or we've got Nick Hague, second-round pick, or we have Brandon Peary, or whomever it might be. So yes, when we have them, we make sure to highlight the top guys, but it's more about the team, the brand, and winning is what we try to focus on first.
So it's kind of like we are the Wolves. Come check out our highly touted prospects and see them before they become a star in the NHL. Yeah,
or come see us so let me how do I put this? We were successful for quite a while, winning and so on, but there are only so many hockey fans in the Chicago area, right? There are a ton more than there used to be, but they're still not. It's not like all 8-10 million people are hockey fans. So you market the hockey, you market the good time, you market having fun with your family and friends. And yes, hopefully as people become more hockey savvy, you can tell them, hey, we've got prospects, we've got guys who are going to be a thing soon. So yeah, come on, see them. Hey, Jordan Binnington, that guy who put the Blues on his back and took them all the way to the Cup. That guy spent 3 years with it. He was pretty stinking good. He just wasn't quite stinking good enough yet to become Jordan Binnington in all caps, who's now the toast of the sport.
Well, you guys had to work with like Blues prospects and then Vegas prospects. How was that transition? I know at one point they were both sharing the team. Was that kind of awkward at all for you guys?
It was. I think initially it's a little awkward only because you're kind of. So Rocky Thompson also became our coach that year. So he did a magnificent job of forging one team, which can't necessarily be easy, right? Because most of the guys were Vegas guys. So obviously, and Rocky was affiliated with Vegas, so that they don't have a problem with motivation or knowing who they're impressing or knowing those kind of things. But the Blues guys could have felt left out, or could have felt like, oh, I'm not getting time on the power play, or I'm not getting the ice time, or I'm not on the line I want to be on. But Rocky made it relatively easy right off the bat, and was just, hey, the best guys are going to play. Everyone's going to get what they deserve. There's not going to be any favoritism. There's not going to be any, you're a Blues guy or you're a Vegas guy. It's just we are Wolves guys, and let's go win a title. And we won a division title, which was pretty nice. And then you can't win the playoffs every year, but it was a great season. And that just if there were problems, they were nipped in the bud early for sure.
What's that transition like for like the people in the front office, and like for you, and for example, when they did switch over their NHL affiliate team? I mean, was it much of a difference, or was it just the players kind of changed and we're still the Wolves, or like did your paychecks start coming from somewhere else and you were like, oh, hey, how's it going, Vegas?
Our paychecks are the same. Don Levin has been the owner from day one, and so that didn't change. It's just the partnership deal we have just changed. It was our partner was different in the NHL. As far as other things, stuff that most people wouldn't care about or know is that when you switch from one affiliate to the next, suddenly all the guys you've been branding and you've had and you have pictures of in Wolves gear, suddenly they're not there anymore. So you have to scramble a little bit in the summertime to get your stuff going and make sure you have guys you can put on a billboard who are going to be with you and those kind of things. Probably the stuff I shouldn't say, but hey, since it's just amongst us girls, I can share with you. To be partnered with the St. Louis Blues in the Chicago market in Chicago is not the ultimate. I mean, the Blues guys, the front office, the players, they're all good people, but there are a couple of Hawks fans around here who don't really want to hear that you are building the next Blues player to come in, I don't know, to fight a Hawks guy or to beat the Hawks. People don't want to hear that. Oh, you got Jordan Binnington? Oh, he's gonna maybe try to beat us someday. That's great. Some people don't want to hear that. So that was a bit of an issue of being with St. Louis. But with Vegas, who doesn't love Vegas, right? They're just so happy and gambly, and they got cool colors, and they're it's no one Vegas is just connotes fun. So it's a lovely brand to be and God, I can't believe I'm saying brand. That's brutal for a. I swore I was never going to say that when I switched to the dark side of PR, but here I am. No, so that's kind of the main difference.
So when you are getting some sort of a switch, obviously this one's a little bit different with Vegas just kind of coming into the league, and they needed somebody to take some of their players. But is it more so like an elevator pitch from your guys' end? Like, are you guys on Shark Tank, or are they going to you?
It's kind of a mutual thing. Business, if I understand the question right. So the business for those who are not AHL savvy, there are 31 teams in the NHL. There are 31 teams in the AHL, and that's everyone has a partner. In the old days, there were a lot more AHL teams that were owned by individual businessmen, kind of like we are with Don Levin and Buddy Myers, where you own the team and then you made partners with somebody you kind of just you met and you discussed and you said, hey, I want to be with you Islanders, or I want to be with you Wolves because you're centrally located. It's awesome that people can fly in and out from anywhere. We're right there by O'Hare. But lately, as more AHL teams buy their AHL partner, there are only about, 10, 11, 12 AHL teams that are independently owned. So there are only so many dance partners that are available. So when we decided it was time to find a new partner, Vegas was available, and maybe only a couple of others who weren't already locked into deals. So it was relatively easy to find each other. And Vegas liked us. We liked Vegas. There were a lot of friendships there already, and it was the perfect fit.
Do you get to be pretty hands-on with the players and coaches, or are you more of kind of like behind the scenes, like leading the PR squad?
So I would say at any given practice, either I'm at practice, or our social media coordinator is at practice, our media relations coordinator is at practice, or all three of us, and you just become part of the group. One of the things I didn't really understand when I was on the Daily Herald side is just how close hockey operations people are with the players and the coaches. Like the most favorite people that players and coaches might be like the equipment manager. They just love that guy. They're around all the time for 6, 7, 8 months, however long your season that lasts. You are the people with those are the people players and coaches are with the most. With the trainer, I mean, you're in the training room almost every day. You travel together. It's just such a tightly knit band of brothers that's one of the greatest things about hockey or about team sports. As for myself or the people on my staff, sometimes we're closer than others. We don't always go on the road, so we miss out on that kind of camaraderie. But we're all just part of the group together, working together. Hey, I'm pitching a story, Rocky Thompson with X. Do you have time for an interview? Sure, great. Hey, player Y, somebody from Medicine Hat would like to talk to you. Do you have a minute to talk with them? It's just kind of a nice collaboration, and we are close enough that we are we are friendly, and we're it's great to be around them, but we're not that close that they don't get sick of us.
Is there any kind of like standout players that come to mind then that you've had to work with over the past few years, or is it like just kind of like hockey guys being hockey guys and they're all like pretty weird and out there and silly bunch?
There's some of everything, right? There are. I'll go most recent. So Cody Glass, he was the 6th overall pick, the very first pick by Vegas, picked in a couple of years ago. He joined us right near the end of the regular season because his junior season ended. The kid, he's 19 years old. He walks right in, scores 2 goals in his first game. In the playoffs, he's centering a key line. I think he had 15 points, probably tied us for the lead in points. And he is, I would joke with him, he is Jonathan Toews. He's not quite as Captain Serious as Toews, but he just gets it. He understands the hockey. He understands how to play. He understands the media component. It's almost like he came out of the womb just understanding the hockey landscape and understanding how to make it work. He was. So when we as the playoffs rolled on, more and more media climbed aboard, right? And including Vegas. So we went out to San Diego for the Western Conference Finals, and a bunch of people came over from Vegas to do some media as well. And he just so professional, such a good kid. I wouldn't be surprised to see him stick with Vegas this fall. I wouldn't be surprised if he came and played with us for maybe half a year, just so he could play in every situation, power play, PK, get to do the best of everything. And he goes to Vegas and he plays for 15 years. He's just that kind of guy. And there are several guys who just, especially these younger guys, they just get it. They understand what the whole hockey world is about. And they're your squirrely guys as well. They're your guys. They're your hockey guys too. I mean, that's you gotta have your hockey guys as well. And I think even the guys who are pros and get it. Here, let me. How do I describe this? I think the best part of a hockey player's day, and I bet you can appreciate this. I know you'll appreciate this. Is yes, you go out on the ice, you practice, you play whatever you've done, and then that's over, and you go into the room. And you sit down, you're kind of stripping off your gear just a little bit of the time, but you're just sitting there and shooting the shit and just being buddies. And I think that is the best part of their day, that 10, 15, how many minutes it is, where you're just hanging together and just you're giving each other shit, you're laughing, you're having fun, you're joking. Maybe there's a little bit of serious hockey talk, and you just feel like such part of such a tight group that is the. That's just the essence of it. Am I wrong?
No, absolutely. Yeah. Like I feel like any like NHL or professional hockey player that, once they retire or leave the game, you ask them what they miss most. And it's the first answer is always the locker room, being around the boys. Like that's the go-to number one thing that they miss the most. Yeah, they miss the game, but it's just being around the guys all the time, just shooting the shit.
All of my stories start with, sorry, I was just about to say, all my stories start with, there's this one time in the locker room.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's universal. It's no difference whether you guys or those guys, it doesn't matter whether they're 20 or 25 or 35. There is that. What I probably shouldn't. I'll share this anyway. What the heck?
Yeah, why not?
Another thing I enjoy, and I guess this isn't exposing anything, but the last couple of years we've had a ping pong table in the room. The guys had a ping pong table, so it is amusing to me to watch kind of that dance of who's playing who's good, who's not so good, who catches grief from the other guys, who gets the respect. It's just kind of it's a mini room within the room. It's just and the guys just eat that stuff up. Who beat who lost, who got crushed, 15-2 or whatever it was. It's just it just makes it even more fun for them and vicariously for me to kind of be on the periphery to watch that stuff.
Yeah, it's funny too because it's like some of us played college hockey, like not nothing major, but like you watch like being in the locker room with our guys and then watching some of the behind the scenes and like the AHL guys or NHL guys. It's so funny because they're saying the same things to each other. Like you said, they're playing ping pong. We play ping pong. Like it's just the same thing no matter where you play at. It's just guys being guys and just hanging out having fun.
No doubt, absolutely.
So let's talk about last year a little bit. How special was it to not only have to build up for the franchise 25th year, but then have to go in and build up this amazing Calder Cup run?
So the 25th anniversary was a ton of work for a lot of people. For me, it was mostly a lot of fun because I spent the summer going through. We have 24 years of archives of stories and clips and notes and just unearthing old anecdotes from the Tribune or the Sun-Times or the Daily Herald and just the way the things the coaches would say. Or I guess when the Wolves started back in 1994, it was a sellout the very first game, and they had like dancing girls, which obviously isn't a thing in hockey, but I guess at the time, you don't know what you don't know, or you just want to put on a great show. In 94, 95, the Hawks were on strike or lockout or whatever heck it was. So the Wolves had a perfect opportunity to make a big impact right off the bat. There were dancing girls. There was these guys are animals ad campaign. So I guess fans were throwing meat on the ice, I guess, in the early games, and it was just a different era at the start. And so just to kind of relive some of those notes and try to share some of those through social media and through videos, and you realize just how many good players came through. Chris Chelios played his final year of pro hockey was with the Wolves, and he was only like a plus 45 or whatever and he didn't play the whole season. So even at whatever age he was, he might have been about 45 then. He was still just such a great player. Kari Lettinen, Andrej Pavlets, a ton of great goalies that come through. So the planning itself, we had a massive party downtown on Michigan Avenue, just outside Tribune Tower in August, where we were out there for 12 hours and then put on a laser fireworks show at 9 o'clock that kind of stopped traffic, like all those double-decker buses that go by. They'll just kind of just stop there at Michigan Avenue and watch this thing. That was pretty cool. And then to kind of go on it and have a team that, and again, maybe this is something you can relate to. Obviously, you guys will play with whoever wants to show up at the rink or whatever team you're on, or whatever you just want to play. But it's great to kind of see a team come together and everyone kind of realizes at the same time that, damn, we're pretty good and we're pretty good together. And we got I think we had 5 different guys score hat tricks in the first 2 months of the year, and then some of them, Brandon Peary and others, went off to go kick ass in the NHL. So then we switched into a little bit of a defensive team, and suddenly Oscar Dansk and Max Lagacé are throwing up 1-goal games every night. So the second half where you couldn't score on us. And it kind of put it both together, have guys like Cody Glass coming at the end. And it was just so much fun to kind of beat expectations when you're back against the wall in every round. Grand Rapids, we're down 2-1 in a best of 5, and everybody's hurt, and somehow we win the last 2 games there. Iowa, we don't score for 2 games in games 3 and 4, and then we win games 5 and 6, win there. San Diego, I think there was a double overtime and an overtime win there. And Charlotte, we win game 1 thanks to Stefan Matteau's couple of goals. And then Daniel Carr gets hurt for good. A couple of the guys get hurt. And Charlotte was a great team as well. And everybody has to finish somewhere. But it was just great to have the vibe in the building and be competing for greatness again.
Well, it was an incredible year. I'm sorry, I was on mute. It was an incredible year. We were actually there at the.
I thought I heard snoring there for a second. Talk for 5 minutes on this one. Yeah.
No, we were actually there for the final game. A few of us at the Allstate Arena, and the atmosphere was electric. It was a great time. We loved it. Obviously, it didn't pan out the way that the Wolves had planned it to go, but it was still a great time. And honestly, it was you could see that it was just kind of the end of the road there for the Wolves, where they were just kind of dragging their back like behind. It was pretty much done. So what about this year? Do you guys have anything special planned this year, PR wise? I know you guys kind of pulled out all the stops last year.
We like to think we're special every year. Is that the official answer? It's kind of retooling. It's kind of building off the run to the Calder Cup Finals. We are. I know everyone cares about hashtags and stuff. We are hashtag We Are the Wolves.
Ooh.
And you can feel free to sing. You can. I would love to put together a video where you put guys, like Photoshop guys' heads over Lionel Richie or Cyndi Lauper or whatever from the We Are the Wolves video from 30 years ago. I don't know if I can pull that off, but and again, you guys are too young for that anyway. I'm dating myself by mentioning that. It's hockey. It's winning hockey. It's some of everything. Part of it is the winning hockey, and to us, that should be the staple throughout the year. But it's also important to have the Star Wars nights, the Pride nights. The first night, October 5th, the first 5,000 fans get a replica Western Conference Championship banner, so that's a thing.
Nice.
Yeah. Ooh. Hey,
Whoa.
if you hold on the line, I might have a deal for you and Bender's fans where we can give you the ultimate friends and family rate on really inexpensive tickets to come out to that. So we'll have to talk offline about that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Hey.
That sounds good.
Yeah. It's about the hockey for the most part. We want to win. We want to take one more step this year. Getting to the finals was cool, but let's go all the way.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, it's definitely a fun time to be, a part of an organization or a team that's doing so well. Like you said, they had some big games that they probably shouldn't have won, but they still stuck it out. So one question we always ask, what is your favorite hockey memory? Whether obviously you said you didn't play too much at all growing up, but over the years, you said you were on the ice in 2010, all these years with the Wolves. What's one moment that really sticks out that you just had a blast being a part of?
I'll give you one good one and one kind of on the reverse side. So
it's always good.
Yeah. So the one, as you just alluded to, being on the ice at 2010. iPhones were spectacular in those days. I think I had an iPhone 3 and really hadn't had it for too long. But I had video of, I just kind of just took out the phone and just pointed it wherever, and there's Sopel with his family, and just so, he was almost done with his career and just so overwhelmed that he won the cup, and sharing it with them. And you turn the camera and there's John McDonough, and he's so excited, and there's Q, and then there's it, being on there and being on the ice, and there's a couple of people on the ice, and then there's all the Hawks fans who just stayed to bang on the glass and stand on the seats and just scream for what seemed like an hour straight until the Philly ushers just kept banging on, just said, guys, you gotta go, you can't stay here till 4 a.m. And then and this is all part of the same anecdote. So I go back up to the press box. Tim Sassone of the Herald goes back to the press box. Everybody goes back up there. Tim had been on the beat for more than 20 years by that time, and he wrote an unbelievable story that won the Associated Press national awards for a game story. He wrote it so well. So you're up there, you're typing. I was done. He was still going. We were there so late. And this is the flip side of professional sports. We get on the elevator, I think at 2 a.m. We're the last two in the building, except we're on the elevator with the cleaning ladies and their big trash can. And that's the special backside of professional sports, where the party's over and here you're with the cleaning people. And then the other one, which wasn't so positive necessarily, to close out our last game of the 2017-2018 season. We're playing the Rockford Ice Hogs in the playoffs. Triple overtime in our last game, the longest game in Wolves history. Max Lagacé stops, I want to say 73 shots, which blows away the previous record, is maybe top 5 in AHL history. But we lose in the third overtime. And to be in the room afterward and to see the guys, you realize that, and they realize among themselves, they have sold out. They've given every ounce of energy and beyond to play 100+ minutes, and just to see the effort, I don't even know how to describe it. Maybe you guys can probably understand. But you've given everything and beyond for yourself and for your guys, and even though it didn't draft the way they wanted, just to know that you did all you could have. It was just something special to see those guys in that moment.
Yeah, absolutely. We definitely know what you're talking about. Just especially not being a part of it, just seeing how all out they were and they gave it 110%. And at the end of the day, they still didn't achieve what they wanted to. Just seeing the, I guess, like defeat. It's hard to be around.
It's hard to be around, but yet at the same time, it would have been way different if they lost 5-2 and season's over. But everybody could look everybody else in the eye, and the coaches could look at the players, and the players could look at the coaches and go, you know what? If we had to go out, we went out above and beyond. We couldn't have possibly done one thing more to try to keep this season alive.
Definitely.
Yeah, I got to be honest. This might be one of my favorite interviews that we've done. I had just a lot of fun the entire time with it. I mean, Lindsey, we got to thank you for coming on and everything that you've already done for us so far and helping us kind of come out to the Wolves games and everything like that. So we really appreciate it. We loved having you on, and we'd love to have you on again if you got an extra couple minutes.
That would be great. So here's where I put my salesman hat on. Before, like on Saturdays before games, we got like adult hockey. We got guys skating out there playing a full game, on Saturday afternoon. How do the Benders not get out there and only a couple shekels? You come out and play, and you get the music cranking when you score a goal. How do you not come out and play?
Sold.
Well,
Sign me up.
To be honest, we talked about it, but we figured, we don't want the Wolves guys to really feel like there's too much competition coming.
We don't want to lose any guys to the Wolves,
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Yeah. So here's the thing. We make sure the guys are out of the building when you guys get on the ice. We don't want them to feel inadequate. However, the flip side of that is true. We do have, Wendell Young, the GM, might be watching. I'm a hockey talent savant extraordinaire. I might see a couple moves or some hands or something that need to sign a contract. So you never know. It's all our guys won't feel bad. You guys might sign a deal, and you might, Vegas might be just around the corner. One of you might be the missing piece that can put them over the top for the next year or two. So
I heard somewhere.
Look at that.
I heard somewhere that 365 of the players on the Wolves out of 600 make it to the Vegas Knights, and we could be 366, 67, 68, and 69 right here. We'll see.
Seriously, let's be realistic. Probably not more than 3 of you are going to be that. So one of you guys is going to probably won't, but 3 of you, I could see it for sure.
True.
Now you guys vote. Who's the 4th guy who's not going to make it?
Well, since Tanner hasn't been on the ice in 3 years, probably Tanner.
Hey,
Cinderella story, Tanner, right there.
You guys don't know, man. I got my cardio going.
Yeah.
Hey, if we don't make it as a team, our jerseys are pretty sweet. Maybe we'll get some sort of deal that way too.
Yeah,
so.
there you go.
We can hang you from the rafters.
Yeah, there we go.
Awesome. Well, Lindsey, once again, thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate it.
Awesome, boys. Appreciate it. Anytime.
All right. Well, thank you once again to Lindsey for calling in and talk with us. Awesome interview. Sounds like we're gonna get the hookup for you guys.
Well,
Sounds like it.
Soon as I
Stay
get that
tuned.
information, check our social media.
Yeah. Let's go to a game.
Definitely mention it next episode.
Mm-hmm. Maybe we can get 12-ounce beers and 24-ounce cups. Never know.
That was dope.
That was awesome.
That was cool as hell for $2.
Thanks a lot, Lindsey.
Yeah.
Dude, when you just kind of say it out loud, that sounds really ridiculous that you have like a 24-ounce cup and only a 12-ounce beer in it.
Yeah, I described it wrong. It was like $2 beer night or something like that, like $2 for like a 12-ounce.
And they were just giving you 24s instead.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have any 12-ounce cups.
Yeah.
So they just used 24.
Oh, so
Yeah.
instead of just like charging for like double, she's just like,
Uh-huh.
That's
Yeah,
funny.
she just gave it to us, and like I got mine. And I was like, "Can I get one more, please? Can I get one more of those?"
Can I get
She
two?
was like, yeah, sure.
Oh my
So,
god.
yeah, it was
Yeah,
great.
that'd be fun.
It was
They're a good
hilarious.
time. They're a lot of
Definitely have to
fun.
do like a bender's night at
That would be
Rosemont.
fun.
Yeah,
I think
so
the
it would
Wolves
be
might
really
be doing
fun.
a Bender's night.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Boom.
Hey.
We'll just be on the side of the Allstate. There's just pictures of us. We're like, what the fuck are these guys?
What is this?
Hey, we do have a championship banner for our men's league team.
We
Yeah.
do.
Nowhere to hang it up though. Cough, cough.
Also,
Rafters are pretty empty. Allstate. No, they're not.
No,
yeah,
they're
but
not.
Nolly's afraid of the ceiling falling down, so we don't want to put that.
Sure.
We don't want to put it up there at the Allstate.
Yeah, might touch the ice. We don't want that.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, this
Never
was a good
forget.
one. I enjoyed it.
So what's the breakdown of the standings? Where we have Vegas, Calgary, Arizona, San Jose, Vancouver, Anaheim, LA.
yeah, sure. We'll
Yeah.
go with that.
Fuck,
Sounds
straight out
about
of
right.
memory right there. It's not bad.
Just trying to think of a team you forgot.
Yeah.
Honestly, Edmonton.
Yeah, I knew there was one. I knew it.
Shit.
Oh my god.
That's hysterical.
Good. I'm glad. I'm glad that
Redheaded
happened.
stepchild.
And then are we
my God.
agreement?
Please
No,
stay on
Jersey?
accident.
no wild card team out of this division.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably not.
Central's too
There's too much
stacked.
juice. Too much juice in the Central.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hawks.
Thanks.
Hogs. All right. Well, that's it. Wrapping
Okay.
it up. We'll
Sounds
see you guys. We'll see you guys next episode.
And we'll do another predictions episode.
Yes. Da.
Cool.
All right.
Bye, guys. Love you.
Follow the boys on Twitter at WCB Podcast, on Instagram at WCB Podcast, and like them on Facebook, the Windy City Benders Podcast.